The railroad ending for Fallout 4 and why I chose it. It was a difficult decision. Even though I was a paladin of the Brotherhood of Steel, the general of the Minutemen, and the future director of the Institute, I still chose the railroad ending over the others. It was a hard decision, but should it be? Warning, this will be spoiler heavy, so if you haven't finished Fallout 4 yet, please do, then come back to the rest of this video. Let's look at each of the factions objectively. I liked the Brotherhood of Steel. They represented the best parts of the military: hierarchy, discipline, and rewards for service. They have the coolest vehicle in the game, the airship, the Pridwin, and their radiant quests can earn you the most caps. They are racists, however, with a deep hatred of synths, the Fallout equivalent of an android, ghouls, and super mutants. They frequently let your non-human companions know this, and it reminded me of real racism in my own life. So much so that I stopped using Dance as a companion after a little while. Not all ghouls, sims, and super mutants are evil, and I thought it was wrong to have that attitude to everyone. Many fans complained that the Brotherhood of Steel were depicted as too goody-goody in Fallout 3, and they are not the good guys, but morally neutral in other games. They have an almost a fanatical devotion to their leader Elder Maxon, who grew up from a sweet kid to an almost ruthless leader. They also harassed local farms for food, and many had no sympathy for Paladin Dance, when it was revealed that he was in fact a synth. The clincher came when the captain of the Pridwin, Captain Kells, ordered me to kill members of the Railroad for being a perceived threat. The Railroad are a group of people whose sole purpose is to free Sims from the Institute. They believe Sims are real people too, and not just property like the Institute does. Like data from Star Trek Next Generation, Generation 3 Sims exhibit the qualities of sentient life and deserve a chance at life, so I couldn't kill them in cold blood. I was disgusted. But I will talk about much more about the Railroad afterwards. The Minutemen. Personally, I thought the Minutemen were a bunch of losers pretending to be a militia. Sorry. Yes, I understand their core mission is to protect innocents, and yes, I am a study of American history and I know what the real Minutemen were, but I couldn't respect them. Even after I became their general, their leader, Preston Garvey kept on giving me Radiant quests over and over again. He drove me crazy, and it drove other players crazy as well. I'm not alone in this. I found it real hard to sympathize them when their headquarters were overrun by Mirelurks, mutated crabs, and their constant losses were demoralizing. The Institute is the boogeyman of Fallout 4. They are a group of scientists living in their own world, refusing to accept that the world that they once knew is dead. They have with them the most amazing technology that rivals even the Brotherhood. I mean, look at it. It is futuristic this side of the Abstergo Corporation from Assassin's Creed. It's almost opulent, complete with android gorillas. And most notably, their living quarters are clean, and in the post-apocalyptic future, this is very rare indeed and very expensive. Led by the player character's son, naturally I would side with family as I was role-playing a motherly, neutral good character. But it doesn't excuse the Institute's crimes. They are indeed the bad guys of the setting. They abduct and murder people for not only technology, but also replace them with synths. It is a scary thought that one of your loved ones standing right next to you was murdered and replaced with a duplicate. They are also responsible for the super mutants in Fallout 4, hulking green monsters, or at least some of them are, having bred them in tanks in their facility, indirectly causing innocent settlers and traders to die in super mutant attacks. No, I had to force the Institute to see the surface world by force if necessary. This leads to the railroad. Of course, they are a reference to the historical Underground Railroad, which also freed slaves. They had such a super sci feel to them, from their music to their headquarters, and the fact they always had several warehouses and the rail signs. I really enjoyed them, and I remember them well from Fallout 3. Their mission is to free Sims from the Institute and use drastic measures such as memory wipes and facial and vocal reconstruction to give them a new life. Some say this is harsh, but in my belief I think these measures were necessary, because surely even a Simp doesn't want to remember being a slave of the Institute. The only thing that worried me is that the leader of the railroad, Desdemona, telling me to dispose of Patriot, who was their secret contact in the Institute, if he ever exposed them indirectly or directly. It was a little bit of a morally grey area, but luckily I didn't have to do that. Now, I know you can set up the ending where the Railroad, the Brotherhood of Steel and the Minutemen all survive, leaving the Institute destroyed. Usually in my playthrough, I would aim for the ending where most factions survive. It is in my nature, but the Brotherhood of Steel represented oppression for me. The Minutemen were useless, the Institute was too insidious and should see the light of day, so that left the Railroad. It takes a while to get the Railroad ending. It starts with a lengthy quest called Underground Undercover, and can only be finished by completing the Institute main quest, Powering Up. Just when I thought I stuffed up and was working for the Institute, a synth contacts you and it starts a chain of quests to get to the Railroad ending. This is where the Brotherhood attacks the Railroad first, hitting the headquarters. The Brotherhood crossed the line here and the Railroad had to fight back. Notice that they never instigate the fight against them. The Brotherhood started it first. After acquiring the technology for vertibirds, we blew up the Pridwin. Like I said, the Pridwin is awesome, but a part of me wanted to see it burn to the ground. Then the Railroad and I stormed the Institute to free the last remaining Simps inside. After saying my tearful goodbye to my disappointed son, I chose to order an evacuation of non-essential personnel from the Institute, because I'm not a complete monster. I also chose to free and keep the 10-year-old synth version of my biological son. I couldn't let him die, and he did have at least some of the DNA left in him of my real son. I know he wasn't my real son, but he is a new being, and although he will never grow up and experience adulthood, he deserved a chance. Finally, we teleported out of there and I pushed the button to finally destroy the Institute. I just hope no building or innocents were harmed or destroyed during the shockwave. Two powerful factions in the wasteland were now dead. The Simps were free, but there were many more to be saved, and the remnants of the Institute were still out there, as well as former Brotherhood members looking for revenge. The plucky little group of freedom fighters, the Railroad, had won. Now what happens after? You get attacked by Brotherhood of Steel and Institute members at military checkpoints, and they are fun and difficult to fight. You can still get quests from the Railroad and the Minutemen. Railroad agents patrol the wasteland and their flags appear in Diamond City. Your companions have some new dialogue. Obviously, travel to the Pridwin and the Institute is no longer possible. Unfortunately, unlike in Fallout New Vegas, the ending does not have that many variations and doesn't go into too much detail on what happens afterwards, the epilogue of the story. Hopefully something is made canon, or it's up to the players to have their own headcanon. In my opinion, this is the best ending, the most moral ending, and the only way to make sure all your companions, even those allied with the Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute, will not turn on you. The Brotherhood was too fanatic, the Institute was too creepy, and the Minutemen were too useless. So I chose the railroad. And I'm proud of that choice. But that was my opinion. Whose side did you choose? Did you even choose a side? Thank you so much for watching. Bye.